Federal Drive is presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, proudly providing health and dental benefits to federal employees and their families. Visit GEHA.com.
The D.C. Armory transformed into a place of gratitude last week as D.C. National Guard members and their families lined up for free Thanksgiving meals at an annual event hosted by the nonprofit Operation Homefront. With grocery prices rising and many service members still feeling the financial strain of the recent shutdown, the organization says demand for assistance has surged. Food requests alone are up 57% from last year. Federal News Network's Anastasia Obis spoke with Operation Homefront Senior Director Vivian Dietrich about their Holiday Meals for Military program.
For those who may not be familiar with Operation Homefront, could you tell us what it is, what's your mission, and the type of support you offer military families?
Absolutely. Operation Homefront is a nonprofit. We're national. We cover all the states from Hawaii to Washington, D.C. We've been around since 2002, and our mission is to serve military families. We serve these families to try to keep them strong, stable, and secure, both military and veteran families. And we do this by providing financial, emotional, and social well-being to these families. At Operation Homefront, we have a variety of programs. Like I said, we started in 2002, and we have grown and changed over the years to meet the needs, ever-changing, of the military. In the early seasons, we were overseas in combat, so our services were more slanted towards maybe hospital care or things like that. But we've always had critical financial assistance as a core program. And this is a program that serves E6 and below, the lower pay grades, the junior enlisted, and it allows us to prevent a crisis or a bump in the road that could turn into a long-term financial problem. An example would be car breaks down. You've got a situation here, it's going to run you maybe $1,000 to get it repaired. You don't have any extra funding. Perhaps the spouse is deployed. What do you do? And with working with Operation Homefront, we can help with the repairs for the car and prevent you from doing the obvious: skip your rent payment, skip your mortgage, don't pay your utility bill, and that's only going to snowball. So if you reach out to Operation Homefront, we can work with you in advance and be able to resolve these issues so they don't become a long-term problem. They're grants, it's not a loan, and we always pay the vendor direct. Now, the program we're here today, this is one of my more fun programs I love to do. This is called Holiday Meals for Military, and we actually do it throughout the year, not just in November and December. It focuses on any of the holidays during the year. So it could be the 4th of July. Well, if you want to have a holiday experience, it's going to run you a little bit more money. And where does that come from? Especially when you have children that are always eating up the rest of those dollars that may or may not be left from your pay. We can provide a holiday meal. And right now, with Thanksgiving on the cusp, we have everything that you would need to have the fixings for a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. Stuffing, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, all of those things will be handed out today, along with a Harris Teeter gift card that allows you to go to the store and purchase the protein, ham, turkey, chicken, whatever your preference is. So this is a budget relieving, and it's also an opportunity for the families to have camaraderie on Thanksgiving.
Right now, we're at the D.C. Armory, where families are receiving meal kits and gift cards, and you explained a little bit about what they're getting, but could you talk about the origins of the program, what sparked it? I think you started it in 2010. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, the experience was maybe one you maybe have witnessed quietly in a grocery store. It was a gentleman who was with Beam, and he was at the grocery store, and he was standing behind a young couple, soldier and his spouse, and the groceries totaled up, and the cashier asked the young family for $13 and change, and they didn't have it. They were short. And so the gentleman standing behind him with the bean company reached in his pocket, paid the difference of the bill, thanked him for the service, and he immediately came back and told Operation Homefront, this is what I witnessed. These families did not even have enough money to pay for a holiday meal. And the board got together, they got to thinking about it, and it's like, how do we do this? And we immediately began the meals program. And it's been going strong from 2010 to 2025 and into the future.
How has the program grown? How many families are you serving today? And how does that compare to previous years?
Our casework is up quadruple what it was 30 days ago. I mean, undoubtedly, the economic times are difficult for everyone in our country, but there's an urgency and a need, I think, that's greater with the military, just because often a spouse has to give up a position because they moved, so it's loss of income. Moving, there's additional expenses that may occur. These economic times have been a direct impact on our military families. And, you have to continue to give them hope and to let them know that we care.
What are you hearing from military families that you're providing support to, especially since the shutdown began?
The families that we supply the support to, pretty much they always will say to us, I didn't believe it when I read it. I read about you and I'm just thinking it just can't be true. Are you really going to help me pay my utility bill? When we do our casework, often it's somebody calling at the nth hour because their military is very proud. Why are they going to ask for help? And generally when they call, you're at the point that you're desperate, you need support. And our caseworkers are highly trained social workers. They spend time in studying their finances. We work with them on how to manage their money and help them move forward. And if it's a utility bill we'd have to pay, we don't give the funds to the family member. We pay the vendor, but we work with the families to ensure that we understand their total financial situation. And it's not, often they'll just want the utility bill paid because that's the crisis, but they may be delinquent in a car payment. So we want to get to that source and help them be strong, stable, and secure, not just a quick fix.
In terms of the types of assistance that families are requesting, do you see maybe a certain type of assistance that families request more often?
The top request, food. Number one, food. And like I said, that has quadrupled right out of the top. But generally it's food, rent, maybe car payments, utilities, the day-to-day expenses that we all have. But it isn't uncommon that there was some type of crisis that occurred that caused them to fall behind.
All right, Vivian, and before I let you go, for those who want to contribute, who want to help, how can they get involved? What kind of support are you looking for?
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Operation Homefront has a wonderful website. It's operationhomefront.org. It explains our programs. It gives you contact information. It also shares with you how you can volunteer. The thing about a nonprofit is that what we receive from the community is what we want to give to the families. So we're very lean. I cover down on 8 states. I have a staff of 4. Okay, what do I need? Volunteers. I need people that will help. Even with this event, the volunteers were here this morning, setting up the food, getting everything in place. We need volunteers. And obviously, we need the donations that provide to be able to cover the utility bills. But we have a 4-star rating with Charity Navigator, and 83% of our expenditures go directly to our programs. We're very proud of what we've built across the years, and I think if you go to that website and you look around and, hey, call us. We'll find a place for you.
That's Operation Homefront Senior Director Vivian Dietrich speaking with Federal News Network's Anastasia Obis. You can find the full story at federalnewsnetwork.com.